What is your biggest dream? Big dreams are easy to come by, but hard to pull off. Seriously, think about it. How many big dreams have you had, and you've yet to accomplish one of them? They're just difficult. And it's not like the Force where size doesn't matter. No. Size does matter when it comes to biggest dreams. But seriously, big dreams don't have to stay dreams. We can do things to actually accomplish them. How do you think people like Rhett and Link made it? They had an idea and they went for it, and they didn't let anything stop them. They were just like, we're gonna go and we're gonna accomplish this thing. That's them running towards the goal. So even though the beginning of this episode started out like a motivational talk, we're just gonna be talking about what are the biggest dreams that you have. I've got five. Number 1. Making it to heaven. It's probably the most important one on this list. I've already got that one covered. Also, it's really simple. If you want to know how to make it to heaven, just check out this, I think the annotations are on this side. Check out this annotation. It's linked to a video that'll tell you how to do that. It's super simple and easy, so long as you're ready and willing. Good luck. Number 2. Getting married. Hey ladies, I'm available. Not really, but kinda really, but I'm not looking for somebody to be dating right now. But if you were like, hey, you're really cute, I wouldn't be like, oh girl, get away from me. I'm not gonna run away. I'm not scared of girls or anything like that. But I don't know if I'm a choice that most people would like, because I'm not making a steady income right now. But you know what, that wouldn't really be a problem. Maybe if you had a lot of money. That sounds really shallow now that I think about it. I don't understand why someone would be interested in me. But if you are, then you could let me know. I wouldn't necessarily turn you down immediately. I'm not very good at making these decisions. I'm pretty poor at it. Not to say that I'd make a poor decision choosing you. I'm sure that choosing you would be a great idea. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm sure that you're a lovely person and we probably have a great time. Number 3. Oh boy! Are my parents and my grandparents and probably every other parent that's watching this going to hate this answer. I want to be successful without having a college degree. That is my dream. Mainly because I think the education system in its current form is hot garbage. Because you go in for an interview somewhere, they don't go, do you have the exact degree that we're looking for? No. They're like, you got a degree, whatever. Do you have experience? And you're like, no, that's kind of why I'm here. And they're like, well, sorry, we're looking for experience. Well, guess what? Internship would give you experience. Also, go and talk to all the adults you know. Be like, do you have a degree? Most of them, if not all of them, will tell you, yes, I have a degree. Why are you asking? And then say, do you use your degree? And they'll be like, you're gonna find out that most of them don't use the degree that they have. And if you ask everybody who does have the degree, like, hey, well, how did you end up in this job that you're currently in where you're able to support a family? They're probably going to say that just random happenstance happened to get them to that spot. Which brings me to another point. I've never seen somebody who worked ridiculously hard not succeed. Working hard means you are getting the experience whether or not you have the job. Number 4. One of the dreams I've had before is, I was naked in Walmart. That's, super awkward. But that's not my biggest dream. My biggest dream was this one dream where I was at the very peak of this mountain, and it was nighttime, so you could see, the stars, you could see way across the horizon and stuff like that. There were, a bunch of small ramps progressively going down the mountain. But yeah, so that would probably be the biggest dream, just because most of my dreams take place inside or in a small space, but this one was on top of a mountain, so there's 360-degree view of everything and the stars and stuff like that, huge render distance inside my head to go off of. So that was the furthest. And also I ended up falling off the very top of that mountain, and that's what happened. And whenever I hit the bottom, I just kind of went limp. It was just dunk! Poop! popped right back up and kept on walking. And most people are like, I immediately wake up. Whenever I start falling, I immediately wake up. No, I think it's a myth that if you fall in a dream, you're going to wake up. I have woken up by falling off of a bed. Cameron will remember that. Number 5. Own my own production company. Oh my gosh, this is like the dream. Like, the dream. I'm gonna spend most of my time on this video talking about this, okay? So get ready, we got a lot to cover, okay? I wanna own my own production company so bad. That sounds like so much fun. I have to create these things. I can't just live with them inside my head. They've gotta go somewhere. And where are they going? They're going here right now, actually. This is the first steps toward a production company. But once I get this going and it starts paying enough, then I'm gonna hire an editor, and then I'm just gonna keep going around making friends, finding out people who make fantasy worlds in their head. They already are writing novels and stuff like this, and be like, hey, want to join my team? And then find other people who are like really good at like editing scripts and stuff like that, and so people that we can like sit down and have, you know, like meetings, like what are things that we can think about. The biggest example of I can think of what I'm wanting to go towards is like Rooster Teeth. By the way, don't watch anything from Rooster Teeth. It's all really bad. It's just the only example I can think of on YouTube of where I'm wanting to go. You're going to see a natural progression, hopefully. But there are like hundreds of old movies that I'm like, oh man, I love these movies. I want people to see them. But some of them are kind of like, I can understand why people wouldn't like these, but they would be so good and so modern if remade now. So I'm like, I have a bunch of movies that I want to remake. I have a bunch of movies that I want to create from scratch. There are a bunch of classic novels, like The Odyssey. You know how awesome that would be as a mini-series on TV? And like Dracula and Frankenstein, these classic novels and stuff. If you made mini-series out of those, oh, they'd be so cool! I would love, because Dracula especially lends itself to being in a miniseries format, because each chapter is like journal entries, newspaper articles, stuff like that about what happened during that day. And I think more people need to be like introduced to the true Dracula and like the true Frankenstein, because there are hundreds of Frankenstein and Dracula recreations out there, but none of them really get the grotesqueness of Frankenstein, because he's supposed to be like see-through, and you just see all of his bodily functions performing at the same time. It's supposed to be absolutely disgusting. It's why Frankenstein runs away from the monster that he creates. Nobody sees that. They just see some huge scarred, stitched up guy, and sometimes he's hot for some reason. But yeah, owning my own production company. It's a dream! It's the dream! I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be amazing, and I'm gonna be successful, and guess what? You don't need a degree to own your own production company. No, you don't. You just need an iron will and to be willing to sit down and do the paperwork and the studying to figure out what in the world it is that you need to do next. That's how you make it. So guys, those were all of my answers. Don't forget to leave your answers in the comments below, because I love hearing what you guys have to say and then reading them in this next little portion. But hey, if you like this video, then hit the like button and the subscribe button so you never have to miss a thing. Let's get on to your answers to last week's question. Yeah. Oh, wait, one more thing. Before we get on to the answers, I was asked to say this joke. Why did the cow cross the road? To get to the movies. Hey! Yeah! Puns. Also, he was going to see Star Wars. I asked. Last week's question was, what are the scariest sounds that you know? Laura Flores says, when you know you're home alone, but you hear noises in the house that are not you. Typically, those are my cat. Christian Lashover says, Minecraft's music can be creepy, and sometimes it's creepy just because it starts playing at random times. Yes! Another scary sound is from an enemy in the arcade game, Sinistar. I hunger, coward. Sparkle Sprinkles says, 1. Scary music in movies. It's just plain scary. I do believe that is why it is in there. 2. Hearing cars pass by at nighttime. It's really loud. Oh, funny story, somebody turned his car on and it made a huge noise and I was not ready for it. I jumped really high. He actually saw me the next day and then told me that I jumped really high and it was funny. Number 3. Cats hissing. It makes me jump. Yes, under certain circumstances. Like if they're hissing at me, I'm like, why are you hissing at me? If they're hissing at each other, then I'm like, hey, stop that! 4. Shark music. I'm guessing she means da-na. Or are you thinking of, like sharks making music?
Da-da, 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 da-da.
Number 5. Hearing screaming in the background. Yeah, that can be scary, especially if you're not somewhere that's supposed to have screaming people. Like, I can't think of an example. Cameron Restivo says, the worst sound I know is the wind howling at a window. When I was a kid, I couldn't sleep several nights due to the noise. I get that. Another terrifying sound that I have grown to hate would be the footsteps of opposing players in the same house as you in Fortnite. However, the most terrifying sound of all would come from the creature named Alicia Restivo whenever she cries, Cameron Restivo, get your butt down here! Agreed. 100 out of 10 parents need to know what to make their voice sound like to not scare us to death. I mean, we're not dead, so it's not to death, but we think that we're going to death whenever we hear that sound. And I saved this one for last because this is absolutely the funniest one right here. Dylan Hogan says, not many sounds bother me, but one sound that just terrifies me is Cameron Restivo's singing. Yes! It's like almost as bad as my mom's. Hey, friends, that is just about everything. But I found out that some of you are watching from your smart TV and you don't know how to subscribe or like or share from it. And right here in the annotation, I have another video of this person explaining how to do it. It's really simple. You just get your remote, you get to where you can see the bar of where, it says like what the title is and shows you how far through you've gotten. You just go down, go to more options, then slide it across until you see the subscribe button in the center. You click it, it'll go it'll turn red, and it's originally white. It'll turn red and say subscribed, and then you can slide over and hit the like button, and then I think there's also a share button. So just really quickly, that's how you can do that. Or if you need a further explanation and to see how to do it, then check out the video right there.